Hi, hello. This is Ronaldo Hernandez, and it's been a long ass time since I even made a video, but kind of been busy with other things and trying to figure shit out with myself and what to do next. And lately I've been trying to figure out more into this snapping triceps treatment and trying to figure out how could I could approach this and you know if surgery is the answer. Um, that's mostly from what I find is that surgery is mostly the it's like the best option to fix the syndrome. However, though, I still believe I could still fix this. You could say holistically, or I guess taking a rehab approach. And from what I've learned is that people who have like an elbow deformity, um, which is either they have like a valgus, which is their forearms. It's like there's more of an angle um away from your body. So we're supposed to have like a straight elbow, but when you have a valgus or a larger carry angle, the length of the forearm is like pointed away from your body, so it's like angled more outside. Or there is also called a cubitus varus, and that is when the elbow is kind of angled inward, and then which makes the forearm coming inward as well. So it's like that. So it's valgus and it's varus. Now, I'm still haven't really figured out which one I actually have, but I'm pretty sure I have a varus, a cubitus varus, just because that kind of elbow deformity is more connected with the snappy tricep syndrome. And on top of that, when I do the valgus, I kind of feel like I'm like really forcing it. But when I'm like this, and I notice that my elbows are kind of like angled in, my forearms are angled in, I feel more relaxed. I feel more relaxed standing like this, my arms placed like this. So, well, having the varus, the elbow is kind of like angled differently, and your forearm is angled inward. So that means that the tricep, the medial tricep, is kind of pulled in also because of the that structural deformity of the elbow. And since it's pulled in more in towards your body, that means it's more prone to kind of do that snapping sensation when you're doing the elbow. So, mainly looking into that, causes of that kind of elbow deformity will be most of the time it's like an injury that never healed. Like let's say you like fractured the elbow, and it just never healed correctly, and so it just grew out into the way it was when it was broken. So I'm actually going to check with an elbow specialist. I'm trying to look into that, see who's around me and um, who's affordable. But I kind of just want to confirm what kind of elbow deformity I have, if I even have one. This is I'm going off from what I'm noticing off my body and you know trying to fill it out and stuff, looking at it, testing it out, stuff like that. But I don't know. Once I get that confirmation, um, you know, the I'm still gonna be working on like issues on getting better thoracic extension, kind of loosening up my mid back because it is stiff, loosening up my lats. But at the same time, it's not just the upper body that needs work. Um, you know, I've been flat-footed for most of my life, so I didn't really took notice of this until like I think maybe like a year or two ago, and um, uh, I looked into it more, and having flat feet, you're more prone to have other postural deformities or almost deformities, but like issues as well. which is when the knees cave in, giving you that knock knees look. So your knees are supposed to kind of, this should be like a good, your knees should kind of point out, away like that, which is a good indication that you have good external rotation in the hips and your legs. But if they knock in, that means, you don't have that good structural integrity in your legs. And on top of that, when the knees knock in, you could develop an anterior pelvic tilt when it's like the hips tilt forward, just like that. So it's like you have like a Donald Duck kind of like posture. And so me looking into that, I also looked into how, when you have flat feet, uh, you also develop like weak ankles or a lack of ankle mobility, and also a lack of hip mobility. And this could be very detrimental to to your posture, but on top of that, in athletic performance, because you know I'm gonna say this, one of the big some of the best ways to improve athletic performance, or even like, well, yeah, athletic performance is doing like the basic compound lifts, like the squat, the deadlifts. But if you have flat feet, that means your range of ankle mobility and hip mobility is, you know, it sucks. It sucks, and that could really affect your posture during the lift. So, you're more prone to get injuries, and you're more prone to kind of just make things worse. And right now, I have more of a focus on that with my feet, because our feet is like a root. It's like a root base. We stand on our feet. Anything we do, we stand, walk, run, jump. It starts from our feet. So, having flat feet, um, which is also like having weak feet, everything in your posture is like, it's like a it's like something bad is waiting to happen, or even worse, you might grow a certain way, and it's not properly. It's not the way it should be. For most of my life, I'm pretty sure I have flat feet, but I don't think it's because I was born with flat feet. Because genetically you could be born with flat feet, but I think it's more because I never really properly stand correctly, or use my feet correctly. I remember as a kid, there was a time where I was having like a lot of pain in my heels, like all the time when I was on LB in my shoes or walking or something. And my mom would always say, don't wear your shoes or wear sandals in the house. Don't be barefoot all the time. So I listened, and that, and me having a very sedentary lifestyle and being obese. Because when you're obese, you're also more prone to get flat feet, because the more heavier you are, the more your feet has to kind of carry that weight for you. So probably all those three things kind of fucked my shit up. I fucked up my posture, and now I'm trying to reverse that. So I just wanted to give an idea of how to kind of approach the sampling tracking syndrome. Um, from my experience, it can be like that deformity with the elbow or some other kind of thing, but I, most of the time I feel like it's a posture issue that you have to like deal with. A lot of muscle imbalances, or a lot of tightness. And for right now, that's what I'm really want to focus on, strengthening my. Primarily right now, number one is strengthening my glutes, because having the flat feet, developing, living with flat feet. To be honest, I don't think I ever really had a good glute activation, a good connection with my glutes for this, for throughout my life. And when you have flat feet, your posture's not right. Mostly your legs is like out of line structurally. So that means you're kind of more susceptible to not being able to engage your glutes correctly because your posture's not in its correct alignment. So I feel like maybe if I strengthen my glutes, get it big, kind of get it bigger and stronger, it might fix the issues that I have currently, or it might drastically improve it. I don't know. That's why it's something I want to kind of focus on right now and try it out. If it doesn't, I mean, worst case scenario, I get the surgery because I do want to fix this. It is a pain living with this condition. I mean, it's not as bad as before. Trust me, it's healed a lot more. But that's mainly because I've been focusing a lot on my nutrition, focusing a lot on my rest and recovery, focusing a lot on like trying to get good quality sleep, and that's probably the only reason why it feels like it's improving. But I feel like right now I only got to the point where pain has decreased and I'm able to relax more, but the problem is still there, and that's because the root of the problem is probably because of my not just my lack of mobility in my ankles and my hips as well as my back, but also I have muscle weakness, very very weak muscle weakness in my glutes, and maybe improving that, getting that stronger, and getting that to work more efficiently would improve my just my life in general. Because like the glutes are very important, man. They're in charge of you walking, running, jumping. Like I said before, it's primary. Well, there's three most of the glutes, but the primary one, the gluteus maximus, it's supposed to help you in the hip extension. And if you think about it, or if you look into it, most of the things I just said about walking, running, jumping, sprinting, a lot of it's hip extension. You have to flex your hips and you have to extend your hips. So if you won't have the ability to extend your hips, then your performance in those movements are not going to be the best you can. I know it's getting a little darker now. You can probably barely see me now, but I just want to finish this video. And yeah, I just want to share that experience. Give you an idea of how to maybe approach this condition if you do have it. I'm gonna title this like something to do with Sappi Triceps syndrome. So most people who are watching this are probably watching it because they have Sappi Triceps syndrome. So just want to give you an idea of what to kind of look for, kind of want to look into, how to approach this. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. And this is a fast life.